Hello. Welcome to episode number 1 of the official podcast of Pittsburgh Sports 365 on Facebook. Hope everybody's doing good today. Hope everybody's had some rest. Thursday night football leaves the weekend to be boring. Got some news today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And if you're watching this video on Facebook, be sure to go to our YouTube channel and subscribe there as well. And hit that little notification bell icon or whatever the heck you want to call it. Make sure you don't miss out on any more of our content. All right. I want to start off this episode number 1. And we're going to we're going to dedicate this episode to a young man that didn't get no publicity. This is in regards to Adam Johnson that passed away, the ex-Penguin. They got the skate to the neck in the European Hockey League. Nottingham Panthers, I think it was. Ironically, they were playing a team called the Steelers. But anyway, a young man, his name was Teddy Balkin. He was 16 years old. And in 2022, in a private school hockey matchup, he lost his balance on his skate. And he fell. And when he fell into another child's skate, and his neck was cut. They closed the arena, dialed 911, went through the motions, tried to get him help as quickly as possible. But unfortunately, Teddy passed away on the operating room table. This was early 2022, and he was in Connecticut. You don't want to hear nothing like that, but I figured that I would put that out there. It's not Pittsburgh related, but this young man passed away, and even I didn't hear about it. And I scroll sports news all day long, every day, and I didn't know about it. It was horrible. In that regard, the Pittsburgh Penguins have made neck guards mandatory for all future players that are going to enter into the AHL and the ECHL. I think that's a good thing. Not only for their safety, but you got kids watching, and you want them to, I would say, like back in the day, I was like, Yager's my hero. Mario's my hero. And when I played hockey, I wanted to wear all the gear they wore. It didn't happen because I was poor, but I wanted to wear all the nice stuff. And if they would have had a neck guard on, I would have wanted to wear one too. They're not perfect though, because if you think when you like bend and contort, that neck guard's on like your neck here, but if you stretch your head out, it leaves you exposed. But nonetheless, it's a lot safer than not having it. Just so sad about that 10th grader. It's horrible. I'm glad they're implementing neck guards. And in other news, local news this time, in Newcastle, PA, a Borough High School coach was ejected and suspended multiple games after running onto the field and getting in the referee's face and another coach's face, because the coach supposedly of the Mohawk football team was yelling, the coach and the players were overheard using racial statements and comments towards the Borough High School students and players. I don't condone that. It's horrible. It's 2023. Get it together. They must have been losing if they were resorting to that, which that's no excuse, but it's disgusting. You shouldn't be using racist remarks towards anybody. And if you do, you're just terrible. You need to get yourself together. And the coach's name for Borough High School was Sean, Leota? Coach Sean Leota says he has zero regrets and would do it again to protect his students in a heartbeat. He said he tried to get the referees to take control of the game, and because he himself heard it, and some of his children actually had tears in their eyes, which I don't know if none of this is true. I'm just reporting on what I read. But that's just unexcusable, period. In other news, the Steelers have put Cole Holcomb on injured reserve, activated Anthony McFarland from the practice squad, That's going to leave Mark Robinson and what's that other guy's name? Alexander? No, that's not his name, is it? The guy that got the pick last week. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, that guy was in there as a substitute for the injury, and he gets himself a pick. That was pretty good. That's the next man up mentality, and that's what we want with the Steelers, of course. Always, always, always. Sucks to see that guy needing surgery. It's good that he's supposedly going to make a full recovery. That's always good. You hate to see a guy that he was one of the good linebackers. They picked him up, and he ended up being a good addition. I'm interested to see what Mark Robinson can do back there. He's pretty good. Yes, he is. We got the best two pass rushers on the edges that you could ever imagine. Watt and Highsmith, of course. I don't care what the debate is. Myles Garrett is nowhere near T.J. Watt. None of them. There's no pass rusher in this league that could say that they're the greatest defensive player in the league besides Watt. Because although all these other guys like Garrett, they rush the quarterback this and that, you don't see them getting pick sixes. You don't see them there was like the Tennessee, they were at 4 guys holding Watt, and he still was getting through. And wasn't calling it or nothing. It's terrible. Ripped his helmet off, he still got the quarterback. Yeah, it don't matter. Hold him all you want. Do it. Fools. I just wish the referees would start being fair. Deontay Johnson got fined $25,000 for speaking facts. Imagine that when we're at a time in this country where speech is, especially facts. I could see if he was lying or calling someone names or threatening someone. He spoke the truth. The referees were terrible. And not only in the Steelers game, across the league and across all leagues. Iowa really got shafted with that false fair catch crap. That was horrible. Ugh. The Steelers have updated their depth chart. They have Chuks Okorafor and Broderick Jones starting. They're co-starters, which is good, which is really good. The O-line, they have failed to find their dog. Like, I think it was Marquise Pouncey on his podcast. He said all the good offensive lines and all the good offenses, they all had a dog. Like, they all had a guy that was just had that dog in him. Like, Dermontti Dawson, Alan Faneca, Craig Wolfley. The guys that would just get you up under your armpits and, moving grown men. These guys are blocking, but I don't see not one of them that is the dog of that squad. You need one of them guys to he owns the trenches, period. So if somebody else on the line is not holding their weight, you got that dog in there. For instance, like I said, Marquise Pouncey. You could even say that Heath Miller was a bit of a dog when it came to blocking. But that O-line, they need a dog. Like all the good O-line combos in the NFL and college, they all have that dog, that one person. Alexandro Villanueva, big, mean, physical, blood all over his jersey and still grabbing you. We need that. We need that dog on the O-line. Broderick Jones is shaping up to be pretty good. Hopefully, he could become that dog. Because they sure need it. I'll tell you that much right now. It's horrible. So the game commentators for this week's game versus Green Bay will be Ian Eagle and Charles Davis. And then, of course, you got Evan Washburn on the sideline. Thank God I don't have to hear Collinsworth or Romo, because good Lord, I can't take that. They're horrible to listen to. Ugh. The one thing they do got to do on that offensive line is they got to get Washington involved more. That tight end, they got the first down, and then he got one pass, one reception versus the Jaguars. But he's played 223 snaps and ran 100 routes. He's only been throwing the ball a few times. That man's a mammoth. He's like a building. If you throw the ball up anywhere above his head, 9 out of 10 linebackers aren't getting that high to get it. That man's a beast. And his hands are the size of some of their heads. It's a big man. What is he, like 6'7" or 6'8"? It's almost 7 foot tall, for goodness sake. Oh, horrible, horrible, horrible. I don't. They activated Anthony McFarland. That's another thing. I look for him. If he does play, he's probably only going to fill this roster spot, in my opinion, until Freiermuth comes back. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. But if he does play, he's going to probably return kicks early in the year before he got hurt right around week 2. And he returned like 3 kicks or something like that. That's basically where they had him. So, yeah, they got to get that in. And, you know, for having gaping holes in the defense, I think they did pretty good. They didn't get their behinds beat last week. I thought for sure missing Minka, it was terrible. They're saying Minka could be back to return to practice before the Packers visit town. You know, we'll find out about that. That's about it, I think, on the Steelers. Besides Dwight, you know, they bring that Washington in. Dwayne Washington, I think. But I know he's Washington. They need to get him more involved in the passing game. In Penguins news, they're 4-6-0, and they're at the bottom of their respective category, Metro Division, whatever. Crosby got his 1,200, number 1,200. There's only 13 active players with 1,200 goals, and only 96 players with 1,200 goals in active and non-active players in history. He has 1,329 points. That's 6th among the active players. Games played. Jari got that first shutout way back, and I don't know what they're gonna do. Like sometimes he looks good, sometimes he don't. I don't know. Also, Sid and Chris Letang have 290 goals working with each other, meaning that one was passing, like sitting, they combine for the goal. So assist and goal, 290. That's a lot. Wow. Between a forward and a defenseman, I believe. The record on that is Wayne Gretzky and Paul Coffey have 350 goals together. The Penguins are in SoCal this week, or now actually tonight, to face the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, I think. Let's see if we can beat them. I want to see the Ducks coach get ejected again. All right. So the Pittsburgh Pirates are looking for a full-time sports reporter covering the Pirates. It starts at $55,000 a year. The pay is negotiable. Kebron Hayes was the 2023 Defensive Player of the Year, I think. And David Bednar he pitched just over 67 innings, 39 saves, 80 Ks, and 2.0 ERA. That's not bad. That's really good. Hopefully they keep him and add to that bullpen. Because I noticed when the injuries started piling up, a lot of them were in the bullpen, and they really didn't do nothing to bring anyone in for that. Which I think they should have brought. When someone gets hurt in any sport, you want to, you want to fill that void, and they didn't really do anything about it. Really, I mean, they brought people from the farm team. They didn't really do anything really. Anyway, the Pirates they did a couple meaningless minor moves for the minor leagues. And then, of course, they sold a starting pitcher for cash. Of course, Bob Nutting selling human beings for cash again. But I want to thank everybody for being here. Don't forget, like and subscribe. I really do appreciate it. I want to thank all my members in the group, Pittsburgh Sports 365. Like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube. We will be looking for you. This is episode number 1 of many to come, hopefully. Hopefully I did a good job. I'm not too good at this. Never done it before, but, we're going to give it the old good go. And, you know, I just want to say, invite everybody you want to the group. Let's keep it intact. Let's keep the membership growing. I want to thank everybody. Everybody. We started with 6 members in the group. We're almost at 3,000. And on the YouTube channel, I think we got like 17 subscribers. But we'll be okay. It's like talking to myself, but I do that anyway. I'm married. All righty, guys. I want to make sure everybody understands what's going on. I did a little bit of research and just got a little bit of news. It's not much going on in the name of the Pirates or none of that. The Steelers, they're outgained in every single category except for wins, and they're winning that turnover ratio. I honestly think that that's what's keeping them alive, is winning that turnover ratio. So I'm hoping they win. They got to beat Green Bay. I think they play they play 1 or 2 more home games. I'm not sure, but it's nice to be at home. But we travel well, so it don't matter. I just wanted to say thank you once again, and you know, make sure you come back and see us before it's all over with. Thank you once again for joining us, the official podcast of Pittsburgh Sports 365. Rest in peace, Adam Johnson. Rest in peace, Teddy Balkin. Much love to you, folks. Have a good night. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. Toodles.